Hello everyone, this is Dr. Shawn Pourgol. I'm an osteopath, and today I want to speak with you about a research that has been done on millionaires in United States on how they think. And I want to give you some tip on how you can copy that to become wealthy like the rich in North America. Copying is what science does. I'm a scientist, and in whatever I do, I follow scientific principles. It basically teaches you to replicate things to make others be able to get the same result how you done it. And this is what I teach to my students, and it is working beautifully. For example, in Canada, most of the manual osteopaths are my students, and while the average manual osteopath has a gross income of $90,000 a year, my students have an annual gross income of $150,000 a year, because I teach them over 200 business lectures especially about business, from tax planning, asset protection, marketing, and so on. And it's working. We are the only accredited school in Canada, osteopathy school, that accept high school graduates, while other schools accept only health professionals for their osteopathy programs. And yet these grade 12 students who finish grade 12 without any health background, they can make over $150,000 a year, because I provided instruction for them step by step how they can copy and replicate the results of successful manual osteopaths for them to become successful. That is why it is doable. You don't need luck, you don't need to win lottery, you don't need to marry somebody wealthy to become rich. You just have to do what the rich do and copy what they do. This is how I've done it. I was homeless when I came 34 years ago to Canada as a refugee. I slept in shelters. My first job was washing dishes as a dishwasher in downtown Toronto for $3.75 an hour. And now I'm a multimillionaire that my friend Honorable Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, invites me for breakfast and sends me regular emails updating me about what's going on in Canada. This is the power of science, when you use scientific principles to apply business tips and principles to you. Today's lecture that I want to speak with you, before I even become aware of this topic, I learned this from one of my friends who I used to work for him, Dr. Nestor Fernandez. He is a multimillionaire, and I learned a lot from him. In another video, I teach you that you should only have friends who are wealthier than you, and that your income is based on the average income of your 5 closest people that you spend time with. So if you spend time with those who don't have good income, your income will be like that too. Watch that video to understand how important it is for you to have wealthy friends. I learned this from him. I was going to Portugal with him. It's through him that I became the doctor for football club of Porto, FC Porto, the #1 soccer team in Portugal, European champions many times over. He introduced me to them. He's half Portuguese, half Venezuelan, but his practice is in Canada. And I was reading a book. I was very upset about my taxes. I was paying 53% in taxes, and I was reading a book, How to Reduce Your Taxes. So I asked him, what do you do to reduce your taxes? And he said that he basically doesn't think too much about it. He gets a professional accountant to do that job for him. He pays the accountant well, and he said something that changed my life. He said, I focus only on how to make more money. He said, if I make $100 million, I don't care if I give half of it away. And he asked me to do the same, and I did, and that changed my life. This is what the rich do. This is what the wealthy do. This research done in the United States surveyed thousands of millionaires, found that they have all think so many different thoughts and they act so many different ways, but they have some similarities. And the researchers found that the number one thing that is very similar for them, the number one thing that makes them similar, the rich and the wealthy think about what they want and how to get that. They every day think about what they want and how to get it, while the poor think about what they do not want and how to avoid it. This tip alone can make you rich and successful if you apply it. It is very powerful. Remember, before they thought brain is solid, your nerves don't grow, and that's it. Once you're adult, your brain cannot be changed. Now that is false, they found, and now they know brain has neuroplasticity. It can change, and we have a term in marketing saying nerves that fire together bundle together. If you focus on something every day, that thing grows in life for you. If you focus on business, that will grow for you. If you focus on negative things, that will grow for you. For example, it is very common knowledge in marketing that we always give example. Those people who think their wife or husband will cheat on them, most of the time it happens because they bring this to their lives, because they're focusing on that. While those who believe their wife and husband, as their spouse, is a good person, doesn't cheat, they have happier marriages. This research has shown that. The same, if you are a negative person, you will see everything negative around you and you will have a depressed, sad life. While positive people see positivity in people and they lead a happy life. What you focus on grows. The same with the rich. They focus on what they want, how to get that. In any business that I start, yes, I calculate what's the operating expense, but once I do that, I forget. Right now, currently, I have no idea, like exact detail of the expenses my businesses incur. I have some rough ideas, but I don't think about it. I don't even think about it except once a year when I see it on the paper in the financial statement. But whenever I do a business, whenever at all times, I focus on how much money that business can generate for me. And that is the important thing you should do. You have to focus on what you want and how to get it. This sounds simple, but it's actually a fundamentally strong thing in your life. I always focus so much on my students to change their beliefs, change their brain, their way of thinking, and through neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, and other techniques that I use. It's very easy if you repeat anything enough after a certain time. Anything after 26 days, you repeat it enough, becomes a skill and habit for you. And creating habit is what we do with our students to change their life, to make it a habit to become wealthy and successful. It is not hard, but you have to spend some time on it, and you have to daily think about what to do. At the minimum, you have to do at least 3 things a day that brings you closer to your goals. Otherwise, just dreaming big and wishing it just will not happen. You have to be specific about what you want. Saying I want to be a millionaire, it just doesn't give your subconscious, your brain, enough knowledge to bring it for you to work on your reticular activating system, your ROS, to bring those information for you. Millionaire what? You want to have $1 million piece of stones, US dollar, a yen, or what. You have to be specific. I tell my students, if you cannot talk about 10 minutes about your goal and what you want, if you cannot write a full page about describing what you want, it means you do not want it bad enough. You have to know detail about it. I always know everything I want. I even know what clothes I be wearing, how I will be feeling, where I would be, because I visualize this every day in my head and I talk about it, I write it down, and I do so many things. I know every single detail of my goal, from what I will be eating when I get that goal, from what I be wearing and where I am with who I am. I make a story in my head and I relive that story over and over and over. Excuse me. That's what Olympic athletes, they do. They visualize it. They know deep down clearly the moment they win and how it goes, and it's not a surprise for them. Success is not an accident. It's not luck. It has nothing to do with luck. It is preparation. It is being perseverant, and it is doing the job every day. But it starts with you knowing what to do, knowing all the business laws. And that is why so many manual osteopaths from other schools and other chiropractors, physiotherapists, they register in our school just to know these business laws, because what I teach, because nobody else teaches that. We are the only school that teach this, because others are run by practitioners, by clinicians, that they look at their students as competition. They don't want these students come out and open a clinic and become their competitions. We don't feel like that. I don't feel like my students are my competition. I made my money before osteopathy. I registered my school as a non-profit. I cannot take even $1 from it. I don't take any salary. I work for free because I don't need this money. But my goal in life is to ensure every town with a population of 100,000 people have at least a manual osteopath there, because manual osteopaths do wonder in treating chronic pain. And to do so, I have to make sure my students are rich and wealthy and successful, because that would attract others to study manual osteopathy, and this is how the profession grows. This is where what I can do to make my goal come true in this lifetime. I'm blessed. Thank you, God. I'm blessed that God has provided me with an abundant life. God has given you all this beauty. Look at this beauty. Look at this beautiful yellow tree. Can you see it? Can you hear the birds? It's all beautiful. It's all God's work. Every corner you look, you see beauty and love and abundance. There is no lack. There is abundance everywhere. It's all ready for you to take your share. But you have to do that. You have to take action. And that's what the rich do. They think about what they want and how to get it. That get it part is very important. You have to move from your buttock, from your gluteus maximus, and do some activity and go and get your share from what God provided for you. It is very easy. It just needs work and time and perseverance. You have to dream big. You have to take action. So follow that. I told you, I was a homeless person. I slept in shelter, but I studied rich people. I read all the books they had on business at chapters in Toronto. I changed all my friends. I became friends with the wealthy, asked their advice, some of the best advice that changed my life, like that lawyer who told me to get rich and wealthy, you have to quit your job. Another lawyer who told me to get your customer, go where they are. I spoke about in another videos about that. There are tons of things I learned about my friends that changed my life. I am in Naples now, where I have a university here, National University of Medical Sciences, USA. It's registered with the Florida Department of State. 10 lawyers told me Canadian cannot open a university here, but I find a creative way, thanks to God, and I've done it. And here I have many wealthy friends who are really, really super wealthy. I see more millionaires in this town than anywhere in the world. If you're a manual osteopath, come work here. You can easily make $200 to $300 US, not the Canadian one, US, in here, and most of the people here are senior citizens. But I saw that my friends here, many of them own farms, or some of them joined together to form a co-op farm. And this is what I'm planning to do. 2 years ago, I moved to Panama to set up a Spanish language university, National University of Medical Sciences, Panama, that is registered there now, but it's not operational yet. I went there to register the university. I fell in love with the weather. I'm tired of the cold. Also, they have no tax there for international business corporation. If you do business in Panama, you have to pay tax, but if outside Panama, you don't pay tax. And which is good, because it means any money I make I can use to expand osteopathy. But I fell in love with the country. I applied for residency in 1 week. I got it. In Canada, it took me 6 years to get my residency. Over there in in 1 week with $3,750 I got my residency. And I moved there now. I live beachfront there in Playa Blanca area, Monday to Friday on the beach, and on the weekend I live in Altos del Maria area, El Valle area, 3,000 feet on top of mountain. I do my weekend there, silence retreat on top of the mountain, yoga, meditation, taekwondo I do. But the land is cheap there. On top of the mountain, you can buy a 1 acre house and land for $150,000 US, which is really, really cheap. You cannot do that anywhere in the world these days. And land is cheap. After talking to my friends here, I decided to buy a land there to make a farm, and that will change my mind, because I want to grow my own food. I want to eat my own food, because I know what type of organic it is, how it was made. That tip I got here from my friend will change my life for better. Most of the things that I've done and I grow my business is by the advice I learned from my wealthy friends. So please, if you apply this tip I give to you, to think every day about what you want and how to get it, you become well on your way to become rich, wealthy, and successful. Of course, there is no guarantee in becoming a millionaire or becoming wealthy, because it's a business. It is not guaranteed, but there is guarantee that if you don't know about business, you will not become rich or millionaire. That is guaranteed 100%. But if you know the business laws, you are already ahead of most other people, and you be in top 10% of your field, and you work a little harder and smarter, you can become in top 1% of society and become rich and wealthy. It is a lot easier than you think. You just have to work at it. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, thanks to God that I'm still alive and I'm healthy, that I can do one more video to expand my knowledge with people. I'm grateful to God for everything that it has given to me, and I pray for you wherever you are to have a happy, healthy, wealthy day, and God bless. Namaste.